Good morning. It is a beautiful cold day out. I don't know. I love cold weather, and anytime it's cold, I want to be outside if I can help it. Hello, friends. I'm Hannah. I am the seamstress and the creator behind the handmade cottagecore and fantasy brand made Marion. I make bodices and whimsical dresses and all kinds of other fun things that you can wear every day or at the Ren Fair to add a bit of whimsy to your life. Today, we are working on a new collection, or really the start of a new collection. As someone who works with fabric, there are a lot of really beautiful fabrics out there that are like limited edition. So they're only out for a small amount of time and then they're gone and they're not coming back. And it's kind of a waste to feel like, because you don't want to necessarily offer those fabrics, because what if they sell out and then you can't keep offering that one item. You spend all this time designing a bodice or something and then it goes up and you take pictures of it and you're like, yes, huzzah. You have like maybe a couple people order it. By the nature of what I do, I don't tend to keep a lot of fabric in stock. I tend to order it on demand as I need it, just because I want to offer a ton of different options, and it would be kind of impossible to keep everything on demand. So part of the processing time while you're waiting to get your order, which is 4 weeks, part of that is me ordering more fabric. If your fabric is discontinued or expiring or just a limited edition, once it's gone, and then that's it. So one of the things I wanted to do this year for 2026 was work on some limited edition collections that embrace the idea of fabrics that will be going away. And I'll be buying them up front for these kind of releases, and only a very small amount, because I can't just, buy hundreds and hundreds of yards of fabric on the whim that maybe they might sell. So by the nature of having limited collections, once the fabric is gone, it's gone. And so I can buy small quantities of really beautiful fabrics that go with each collection that are themed around a specific color palette or design or aesthetic. And then once that fabric is sold out, that collection is gone. When I first started this business, I was doing a new collection every month, which is ridiculous looking back, hindsight, wow. But making those collections every month was a lot of work. And I realized I wanted to still do them, but I didn't want to do them every month. So I took a break for a while and I stopped doing collections, which is kind of a bummer because they're very fun. And this year I am deciding I'm going to be dropping 4 collections. So one for each, not quite season. They don't quite match with the seasons. They're a little bit off, but kind of that vibe of like they're matching a specific aesthetic that I have that kind of correlates a little bit with the time of year that it's being released. So for example, in February, I'll be dropping the first collection of the year, the Dusky Fairy Collection. Part of putting a collection together is really deciding what my aesthetic is, what colors I want to do. For the Dusky Fairy Collection, I really want to do something that kind of feels like the end of winter aesthetic. So we're not quite into spring, we're not quite seeing the florals and the pastels, but we're seeing something that's a bit more cold, a bit more darker, something that alludes to the cold winter that's kind of ending and the potential spring that's coming. And with that, I want to have a color palette that has both dark and light colors in it, with kind of some whimsical, kind of woodland, but maybe not so woodland theme to it. And this collection actually came from something really, really simple. One of my favorite artists releases a new fabric next month. And I would really like to feature her fabric in this next collection. Ray Ritchie is a artist who does work for books and sells her own artwork, but she also partners with a fabric company called Dear Stella, where she makes the most beautiful fabrics. She releases a collection every couple of months, and it's just they're so fun. Some of my favorite fabrics are from her. I'm actually about to make a dress from she has this cute like country mouse collection that I'm just, oh, it's so cute. And I want to make a dress from it. She has this new collection coming out called Fairy Solstice, and it's all inspired by this fabric right here. I something about this fabric just like sends me. It's got these beautiful lavender tones in it. It's got this beautiful navy color, and you have this beautiful like marigold and pink kind of tones that are showing up. A big part of Patreon is getting them to vote on a new collection. So today we are posting those fabrics that I've cultivated, that I've put together, and I'm really excited actually to see what they think. I've curated a little, I think there's 10. I think I've put together 10 fabrics as like a palette, and they're all a little bit different, but they all have a similar theme and they all have a similar color palette that go together. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. When patrons vote, they get a yes, I don't know, maybe, and a no. And then at the end, they get to pick their favorite one. And I keep track of like what fabrics everyone, really likes. And consistently, it's almost always the same one fabric that everyone really, really loves. And I also like to get feedback from them as well on new collections, on what we could do in the future, some things to add. And then one of those fabrics in the end gets chosen for a patron exclusive fabric, which means it won't go up on the shop. It won't be available to everyone. It'll just be available to patrons with a special Patreon code. That's pretty fun. I think that's really fun. That's a really fun way to kind of keep some exclusivity for the patrons who do so much work, do such a good thing. If you'd like to join the Patreon and be part of the extra little group of people who get to have voting rights and who get to choose what's really going out there, you can join for as little as $2 a month. I've got 3 tiers, and they're all very helpful in running my business and giving me good feedback on what's coming out. They get giveaways, they get polls. The Heartwood tier, which is the $10 a month tier, gets these videos a whole week early. You get extra behind the scenes content, and if you're interested, you can check it out. If it's not your thing, don't worry about it. I think it's time to go in and put it up for a vote and see what the patrons think. See what they think about the fabric choices that we have. I'll check back in a little bit. I'm really excited to see how they vote. Every time we do a poll, I think it's so much fun because I have my personal favorites, but then everyone votes and it's like the ones that I think is going to do really well are like one of my favorites is like the least voted option. And I'm like, what happened? Okay, let's go post that poll for patrons. I just looked at the poll results so far, and like I said, I'm always surprised at when what fabrics are really popular that people really love, and they're usually the ones that I'm like on. Like I never pick fabrics that I don't like for the lineup, but I'm always kind of like, yeah, I like it, but okay, I don't think it'll be popular. And then it's like the most popular fabric, which just cracks me up so much. Okay, so I don't know if I showed you the lineup yet. So here is the lineup. It has some really beautiful colors. You can feel the aesthetic I'm going for, right? So it's got more purple tones. It's got a little bit of green, but the green is very like kind of sagey kind of green. The purples are like lavenders and navies, very like gray toned purples. I want like some more gray toned purple in here. So this is what we're working with. And I was convinced that I knew which one was going to be like the least popular and the most popular. And I was right on the most popular, but I was wrong on the least popular. And I'm shamed once again. Okay, so let's look at these. I'm still waiting on all the votes to come in. So we have, I'll check back in a little bit. But as it stands right now, the most popular fabric is the Fairy Solstice, which no surprise whatsoever. Everyone loves the Fairy Solstice. Coming in at an immediate second is the Dusty Blooms, which I was convinced was going to be the least favorite. It's not, I don't want to say it's my least favorite because I like all of them very much. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put them on here. But of all of them, if I had to rank them in order of favorite to least favorite, this would be near the bottom. Actually, it would probably be the bottom. Again, to say that, I really love it. I think it's very pretty, and I think it works with the aesthetic really well. The purple's excellent. But it would not have been my top pick at all. And yet here it is. So yeah, okay, we'll check it back in later and I'll give you the complete rankings, which means, which ones are going to make the cut for the collection in a little bit. But I can't help but like check in on the polls as it's going because I want to know so badly like what's doing well and like what's winning basically. But yeah, okay. All right, I'll check back in later. This is so dramatic. I'm battling with the sun this morning. Oh my God. Okay, wait, hold on. Hi, good morning. It's the next day. We are working on finalizing the collection today. And also, I had some thoughts. Let's have a quick look at what the patrons' final vote is, because we had a couple more votes come in last night and I'm like dying to see what the final result is. Okay, so some of these have stayed the same and some of these have drastically changed. Interesting. Like I said, I'm always a little surprised. Our most favorite to least favorite. Okay, so the most favorite, no surprise here, was the Dusky Fairies. This is the fabric I showed you guys the other day that's like basically the whole collection is kind of built around. Next up, in the same, basically the same point. So these are actually technically tied for first. The Lilac Magic. Lilac Magic is second up. And this one is actually the light version of another fabric that I have called Garden Magic. The Garden Magic is like dark. Wait, hold on, I have it. This is the Garden Magic fabric. So it's the same fabric, but it's this one is like a dark green background with kind of mauve and pink. Let's see what's next. Next up is the one that I was not expecting. Okay, so I told you guys the other day that it was like my bottom of the tier, basically what I thought, but that's not the case, because in third place we have Dusty Blooms. I mean, it's a beautiful fabric. I just didn't think it was gonna be top. Wow. Okay. Okay, and then let's see. Next up, after that, Iris Butterfly, then Dawn Floral, Solstice Party, Copper Daisies, Pastel Botanicals. This one I've actually had in the shop before. Then Ginger Plaid, which I should have known. Nobody likes plaid. I love plaid, but doesn't do well in the votes. I'll tell you that. It does pretty well in sales, but I haven't had like a plaid I really, really love. So I was hoping that this one would have like some of the cute muted colors, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Then at the absolute bottom, like this one had one vote. The Lavender Harvest. This is so exciting. I actually really like Lavender Harvest a lot. And we had a Halloween collection 2 years ago that had a dark version of this in it. And that one also did very badly. I don't know what it is. People just really don't like it. All right, message received. After everyone's voted, I rank everything. One of those top tier options will be set aside for patrons only. That'll be a fabric that only patrons will have access to, and it's going to be one of the top sellers that's going to be reserved specially for patrons. Okay, so we have our fabrics now. That's very exciting. We have a full collection. Now it's going to be to try and decide which fabric is going to be the patron exclusive fabric of these 6 that we've chosen. I think I know which one I'm gonna pick. I don't know if I want to tell you guys yet. I might think about it a little bit and then decide later when the collection drops. It might be one of those things where the collection drops and you have to look and you have to decide, well, is it worth it to become a patron just to get that one fabric? So now that we have our fabric choices picked and ready to go, we'll be prepping this set for release, which means working on the listing photos and ordering the fabric. Now, we get to the new part of this. One of the things with new collections, specifically that I want to do for this year, is with the new fabric, I want to offer a new item as well. But I didn't have anything planned for this one. And so last night, I was kind of putting together some thoughts in my head of like, well, what could we do to go with this drop, with this collection? And I had a couple things come to mind, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. One of the specialty items I was thinking was a pixie hat. So it's a really cute little hat that like just comes around, and then it's got like a little point on the back, and then it's got ties that you can tie around your neck. And then I was also thinking of doing teacup holster. Now there are some really beautiful ones that I've seen online that are specifically like made out of leather, but I would really like to make one out of fabric. Like let's say you order a bodice with the fairy solstice pattern, that it has a teacup holster that's made from the same fabric, so that you have this kind of like set, like you have a matching moment that you can have. Do that with a couple of other items. Like you can add on a bow or like a tie-on pocket, and they're made in the fabric that you pick. So you can choose to like have a matching full set. It's a very fun little accessory detail. This fabric has a very tea party kind of feel to it. So it's like, well, a teacup holster would be really cute. The other option I had would be to do a matching capelet situation that had special embroidery or special like lace detail on it, lightweight capelet, flannel on the outside, satin on the inside. And then there was some detail that kind of goes with the vibe. And then the other option I was thinking of was maybe doing some sort of satchel type situation, or like a little fairy skirt or like little something. But I really am like really torn here. This is really tough. I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll get back to you with my thoughts. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, friends. I have a confession. It's about a week later. I still haven't decided. I am more torn than ever about what to do with this collection drop. I have done some research. I've put some things together. I have an idea for the cape. The other alternative, the pixie hat, which I think I talked about. I made a mock-up and I did some like playing around with it. I kind of am in love with it, but I don't know if it's the right vibe for this collection drop. Here, let me show you. This is a quick mock-up that I have for the pixie hat. So it's inside out right now, so you can see the seam, but she's cute. And then she ties right at the front. She's really cute. She's very cute. See the point? Oh, it's adorable. I'm really torn on this hat. I think it's super cute. You could also do this hat with that kind of lavender and the trim, and you could do basically the same material that I would do for the capelet, but for this hat, and I think it would look so freaking cute. I'm really leaning in that direction. The teacup holster, I think I've decided I'm going to wait on the teacup holster. I just don't have the time that I need to really finalize the design, and I'm running out of time, and I don't want it to be rushed, and so we're not going to rush it. I'm going to be working on that kind of in the background and then launch it with a different collection. There's going to be one that I think it would be perfect with later in the summer. So I think as I'm talking to myself, I'm realizing I think I want to do the pixie hat. I think the pixie hat would be really cute. I think it would be really adorable. Okay, let's get to this. The day has come, or that's what I wish I could say. We've got new pink hair. It's giving whimsy when the world is burning down. I was hoping at this point in the video to be able to show you the fabric, maybe have a bodice or two made with the fabric to show you for listing photos, to have the pixie hat finished, and unfortunately, I just feel like this is so This is so classic. You plan something and then things don't work out. The fabric has been delayed. There's been some winter storms here, and because of that, a lot of shipments have been delayed. And so, unfortunately, the fabric will not arrive until literally the day of the launch. So I have to have this video finished before then. The launch is literally in just a couple of days. So I am a little frustrated that I don't have something to show you at the end of this video. I feel like most of this collection was literally me talking, but part of so much of this planning collections and limited collections like this is a lot of the planning sitting in front of the computer. That basically, instead of having something to show. 99% of the things in my shop are made custom, which means I don't have like an item with which to show you because everything is custom made. I had planned to get the fabric a little bit earlier, then make a bodice that had the fairy solstice on one side and then a different color on the other, and offer it as a giveaway. I still may do this, except it'll probably be in March rather than for the launch because I just don't have that fabric yet. So that fabric shipment also included the fabric that I was going to be making the pixie hats from. So I don't even have the fabric to make pixie hats for this video. They'll be available. They'll just won't be available for this video. So next time I'm going to order the fabric weeks in advance just so that I have it, because I feel like this video is so anticlimactic now. There's nothing, I don't know how to end it other than the collection's live. I don't know how to end this video other than just to say thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the patrons. If you're watching this on YouTube, the collection is live. It is live. It is available. The pixie hat is not live yet at the moment because I'm still waiting for the fabric. My whole purpose for YouTube, sharing this on YouTube and not just for the Patreon, was to show the realities of a small business, that things just do not turn out the way that you plan. And no matter how early you plan or how hard you try to get things, you know, scheduled out early, things just don't always go according to plan. But that's okay. That being said, I'm very excited about this collection. These fabrics are beautiful. I mean, I don't have them in front of me just yet, but I know the designer and I know the artwork and it's beautiful. I cannot wait to have this collection. It is going to be lovely. I've already gotten some great feedback on people being like, finally, purple bodices. I hear you. I do. So I'm excited to have this officially launch. It's a little collection kind of at the beginning of the year. Still a little bit of the slow season, but we're moving into the crazy spring that's coming up, and you know, that's just the way things do be. The next video you guys should see, whether you're Patreon or on the YouTube channel, is I have a market prep video coming up. I have a market that I'm going to be in. My first market ever. I'm very afraid, but it'll be fine. It'll be on the 22nd, February 22nd. If you're in South Carolina or local to the area, I am going to be selling at the Flora and Fauna Winter Fairy Market on the 22nd. It's in Lexington, South Carolina, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be all dressed up. I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited. This will be my first ever market. I'm going to be selling at more markets this year, so this is the first one, and I'm very excited. Thanks for being here for this collection. I'm sorry that it had a kind of anticlimactic ending. Honestly, it feels kind of like a fail a little bit that like I went through all this planning and then I don't have like a product to show you here at the end of the video. But by the nature of my business, everything's custom made, so it's hard not to have merchandise like available to show you guys right now. You cannot foresee a winter storm that just sweeps through the country. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Go shop the collection if you're interested. And if you'd like to give me a follow here on YouTube or over on my social media, I'm on TikTok and I'm on Instagram. And if you like this video, give it a little like. Leave me a little comment. Let me know your thoughts on the process. Thanks for being here so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.